I'm Jeremy, and movies are terrible. Thanks for coming by to shit on the things that we love. On this video, we're going to be talking about 2017, the year of the revival of the horror genre, which is so freaking exciting to me as somebody who is known to like a couple horror movies from time to time. Just to name a couple of the ones that we've gotten this year. Obviously, It, which just opened at $175 million, making it the #1 R-rated release, I think, of all time, which is freaking insane. You might need to fact check me on that, but if I'm not mistaken, I'll correct it down there if I need to. But so It. We had Get Out, Jordan Peele's debut film that was freaking fantastic. Little movie that people didn't expect to blow up like it did. Annabelle Creation just came out a couple months ago. Was a hell of a lot of fun. Characters were fucking idiots, unlike It, but the scares were well shot and it was entertaining. Alien Covenant. I got issues with you, Alien Covenant, but I've went over that before. It was still a beautiful looking movie, and as far as horror goes, it was tops. It's just the sci-fi didn't quite check out as much. There's going to be a Jigsaw movie coming out. It Comes at Night. Another little sleeper hit. We've got Rings, The Bye-Bye Man, Jeepers Creepers. Talk about creepers. Fuck that guy. We've got, what else? Amityville, The Awakening, Leatherface. Bunch of remakes, reboots. We're used to that. Happy Death Day should be a good one that's still coming out. The XX. 47 Meters Down was a personal guilty pleasure of mine. Look, I know it's not great, but you know me, and the movie terrified me because sharks are scary, y'all. Yeah, sharks are scary. You got it. There's not enough kind of mid-budget movies that we got in the 80s and 90s. Everything's either little bitty independent films or these big, gigantic spectacle films like the Transformers and the Marvel movies and the DC movies, which there's a place for all of these things, don't get me wrong, but there's also a place for everything in between. And unfortunately, Hollywood seems to be playing a very high-stakes game right now where every movie costs about $150 million to make. And then if they don't make fucking $750 million in the box office, it's considered a disappointment, which is just insane because we get these little movies like It that come along and just dominate the box office. And look at the difference in the production. Look how much more tangible and reasonable a movie like It is, especially for up and coming filmmakers that don't just have infinite resources. It's great that there are studios out there that are willing to take these chances. #1 among them, and what I kind of think is the future of horror and is responsible for this whole big movement, is Blumhouse Pictures, led by Jason Blum. And if you want to hear some of my other thoughts about him, just go ahead and check down in the description. I will post a link to his thoughts on the upcoming film Glass, as well as his thoughts on Spawn. But man, I mean, this guy is just crushing it. They have had so many movies released in the past couple of years. Just to name a few of them: Insidious, Happy Death Day, Slate, Get Out, Split, Ouija, The Purge, Sinister. It just goes on and on. Unfriended. These guys are willing to make smaller budget films. They put them out. Sometimes they're great. Other times they've been a little mediocre. But they tend to do all right. And you don't have to make a shitload of money when it doesn't cost a shitload of money. And that's kind of what makes it such a smart business model, and what I consider the thing that could really rejuvenate the industry and really show studios that they don't have to just give us spectacle, mind-numbing CGI onslaught of visual noise. And hey, I'm a fan, don't get me wrong, there is plenty of room in my life for all of these things. But yeah, I think good storytelling and a good cast and interesting premise and all of these things are enough. We don't need everything to be these big gigantic explosions and fucking blue beams coming out of the sky. We don't. Sometimes storytelling is all we need. And, the past couple of years haven't been great as far as the box office goes. And I just feel like if studios can start to put out enough of these movies and they're just profitable enough, maybe they can start to invest in things that rekindle moviegoers' interests in going to the theater. Because there's not another experience like it. I know what's happening is with streaming services and the improvements of home entertainment systems and entertainment centers, you really don't need to go out to the movies to have a theatrical experience. You can't get the communal experience at home, and that's why I still personally love going out to the movies. But when movies cost so much, you can't take a family of 5 out to the movies and not spend $100 or some shit, which is insane. Leitchi and Murdoch basically said that he believes the reason why the last couple of years haven't been as good, especially 2017 in particular, is a lack of animated films. But the big kicker is that he says there's too big of a window between the time when theaters have a movie leave the theater and then when it becomes available for home video. A lot of times in that period of time, a lot of films will be pirated and illegally downloaded. So he thinks a shorter window in between there and more animated films are going to be enough to save the industry. But I feel like let the audiences decide what they want to see. And it was a pretty good indicator of what audiences want to see. So I'm excited about it. I can't wait. What do you think about the year of the horror film? Is there a future in this business model? Let's contribute down in the comments section. Have you seen the trailer for Tragedy Girls? I just now watched that. It's fucking great. If you want to check out my reaction and review, just look down in the description. I'll post a link to that as well. I'm Jeremy. Be terrible.